lot to discuss. Last time the video was not very good, but today I want to bring up some things that happened and also kind of a separate, different discussion of another topic briefly as well. And I did write about this in the community post. This incident today that happened with the dog walker. I'm going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the cigarettes though. If you're interested in that, then please read the community post. So, today I had something happen that I can't recall an incident like this before. Now, those of you who know me, you know I've had a lot of strange incidences, constant synchronicities, and all kinds of things that just are absolutely reality matrix absurd. And today I had something that was different than the usual vehicle-related oddities or the 911s and 666s, even though I did also have that in an unusual way as well. But this one was very different. I was preparing the bus, and it was parked on a sloped street like this, a small 2-lane road. Okay, and there's a sidewalk to the right. So I'm on the passenger side preparing things, and I see a man with a dog walking downhill, and he smiles at me in this really big smile, which on its own is an unusual sight. And so I smiled back, because normally I get the evil eye, or people just like stare me down like I'm some kind of goddamn alien. This literally happens every single day, where people just would stand and freeze in place and have like a look of shock, like they've seen a ghost. I literally can't think of a single day where that does not happen. That always happens in more than one person. But this guy, he smiled at me. Very rare sight. And so, whatever. No big deal. He goes down this hill, and then I go to the driver's side just to get something and walk right back to the passenger side. Couldn't have been more than 30 seconds. I look down, and then I look up, and who is it? It's the exact carbon copy of the situation that had just occurred. A guy walking down the hill with his dog, smiling at me in the same exact way, in the same exact movements. Now, you might say to yourself, well, so what? He probably just walked back up the hill. Well, guess what? I never seen him walk back up the hill. And I certainly would have noticed him walking on a very steep street, going back up the hill. When I was on the driver's side, as a matter of fact, I had a bigger visual view of my surroundings on that side. And there's not much trees. There's not a whole lot of things. That it's just an office complex. So what the hell was that? Like in the span of 30 seconds, he goes back up, and there's something about it that just doesn't make any sense. And I've heard of stories like this in Glitch in the Matrix, in the subreddit over there, or other channels. But that's going to be a first for me. And then I told about it to one of my best friends. I told her this incident, It's a video game indeed, and it's quite a stupid ass video game if you ask me. And I tell her about it, and she proceeds to tell me a strange thing that happens to her, which is when she goes rollerblading, she comes to this four-way stop, and she says that every time she goes out, the road is empty. But then when she approaches the intersection, it just suddenly becomes completely packed with cars. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, because I have as well. Or like you're in a store with nobody in it, and then you go in and there's suddenly 500,000,000 people in there out of nowhere. And this is also coming from a person who hasn't really been that interested in these topics too, so that was especially strange for me. So, what do you guys think? What do you think it was? You look exactly like Dr. Zoidberg. Thank you. I know that we had a massive shift, and on that, I'm gonna get to that actually, because I'm actually not laughing so much anymore. And before that, I need to tell you about this particular 9/11 and 666 that I've seen, both at the same time, which is rare. The guy was an NPC. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I would say so. I can't make sense of that. I can't make sense of that at all. I would have 100% seen him go back up the hill. It's just whatever. Um, yeah, so in LA, there is a TV show called 911. I guess it's on Hulu. I don't know. I've never seen it or heard of it. But there's billboards of this show everywhere. And I mean to such a degree that it's just bordering on total lunacy. I mean, it's on that corner, on that corner, on this corner. It's like, there's that show again. So today, as I approach this billboard, guess who comes up behind it? That's right, a 666 license plate right next to the 911, just like in this perfect, beautiful, synchronized moment. Isn't that just fantastic? I've had it many times where a restaurant is empty, and I enter it with my wife or friend, and then so many customers enter soon after. Yes, I've had that happen as well. Very much so. Oh, man. Yes, that's one of the more interesting 9/11 666 combos I've seen, for sure. And so, getting back to this three-eye atlas thing, I noticed about the last 2 or 3 days that the sun has changed. It is much brighter than before, and it even has a more golden appearance like it used to. And even when it's completely high in the sky, and you guys know that normally with that little white dot, it gets high in the sky and it just burns your skin, and it has no life force energy. It has no divine light emanating from it. Nothing. Is completely fake. But the last couple of days, it feels like there's something like more real all of a sudden. And I don't know. It's probably some kind of trick like it always is. Don't think it's gonna last or anything like that. But it's certainly much brighter over the last few days. It's very strange. If you notice it too, please do let me know. All right. So the last thing that I wanted to discuss was Robert Monroe and the Monroe Institute. he was an astral traveler who's been out of body many times. And he's seen, dimensions where people play out their belief systems essentially. And he describes like different pockets of reality where a consensus reality, very similar to William Buhlman. Like for the Christians, there's like stadiums of believers cheering on, and the people who believe there is nothing after death, they were like just walking around in a black void, and people who believe this or believe that, and so on and so forth. Now, just take aside, like, let's just take aside any of our beliefs about a soul matrix or anything of that nature. Just put it aside for a moment and ask yourself this question, because it raises a contradiction, a big contradiction. Because why would anyone be stuck in a sort of consensus reality when the majority of people, and I mean a huge percentage of people, according to hospice nurses, experience some kind of, supernatural phenomenon before death, like seeing angels or loved ones or whatever the case may be, and including my own grandmother. I saw her myself when she was dying. She was constantly talking to her dead mom. So my point is if you're already getting guidance before you even cross over, then why would anyone be stuck in some kind of consensus reality if you're already in a state of guidance, even prior to death? Wouldn't those guides direct you to what real reality is, in which you and I know is just real reality, is just collective thought, eternal manifestation, eternal resonance, eternal quantum oscillating harmonics, just eternal frequencies playing out forever. So, because there's just be part of the trickery with not letting us know the real answer of the afterlife, possibly. But I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was interesting. I mean, just put yourself in that position. Say you're dying, and regardless of your belief system, you have a family member showing up, a dead family member guiding you. Wouldn't you be directed towards what they're gonna say or do? Why would you stick so much to your belief that you would create a consensus reality? Happy, stupid, lame Halloween where you never actually see or experience anything supernatural. Well, I do, but the things I do experience are just kind of completely ridiculous and absurd. And again, I was discussing this with my friend, and I told her all these strange things just happen to me almost on a daily basis, but it's devoid of divine light, like as if God just completely abandons you and you're thrust in on your own with nothing. And then she's like, well, how can God abandon you when you're getting all these signs? Well, I'm not necessarily saying the signs are from God, because it doesn't seem that way. The signs seem like it's from a bunch of assholes. If anything, just a bunch of dickheads. That's what the signs feel like to me. I don't know, guys.